Yeah. One of the funniest things that happened in our friendship was you and I were having lunch at work, and you said, "Hey, do you ever listen to this Jocko Willink podcast?" And I was like, "Nah, I tried. I don't really like it." And you're like, "I really think you should. I think you should check it out." And then I start digging into it, and I realize you're going through this cancer process, and you're just little, Christie, and you're listening to a gigantic behemoth of a man. And it isn't just that he relates to you. You're now going around to your friends being like, you should listen, and you should listen, and you should listen.
I'm obsessed. It's okay. Yes.
I mean, but the benefit of that, I was just giving a talk out in Arizona. I was at the Arizona Farm Bureau, and one of the talking points I had, because they were saying, how can we be prepared for disruption? And one of the things that I talked with them about is, and it's not my line, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. They are the people they're either building towards something, they're working on something, they're sacrificing in order to get somewhere else, or they're not. But you are the average of whoever the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if you include podcasts in on that, because you're giving your brain can't distinguish between a conversation you heard when you were sitting right in front of somebody and when you were just listening in your car while you're washing dishes or while you're doing something in the lawn. You have now just increased the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with if you're spending time with somebody like Jocko Willink.
Well, that would be pretty cool. Hopefully someday I get to meet him, but
what was it to you? Why did this giant military guy have such an impact on you?
So it's kind of funny. I as a kid was known to be very stubborn. I'm kind of bullheaded, and when I see something that I want to do, I find the most direct path and go towards it.
That sounds like exactly what you did with your cancer.
Yes, it applies to all phases in life. And I think the thing that I can appreciate is I've learned a lot more about balance and taking a step back from emotion, because I can be very emotional. I can get down on the floor and cry, or I can get really super mad about something, but that doesn't serve the purpose in the end. And so what's the goal and what's the ultimate thing that I really want to accomplish? It's being the best mom. It's being able to have a successful career. It's being a good wife to my husband. And being able to do that means that I'm balancing all of these things. And one thing that, even though I'm stubborn, my stubbornness is that I'm going to be dedicated to doing all of these things. So now all of my stubbornness is put to a good use, is what my sister said. She's like, it's nice to see. It may have taken me a while to figure it out, but I channeled all of this energy. And I have to say, being a mom changes you. There's just phases in your life that change you, but definitely being diagnosed with cancer and being faced with the thing that I most fear and having to fight that battle. One of my boys and I's favorite book is Jocko's book that he wrote for little kids called Mikey and the Dragons, and it's about overcoming your fears. And we read that book every day last winter. Every evening we would read that book from start to finish. And if you ask my kids what they want to be or what they want to be like, they will tell you that they want to be brave, strong, and healthy, and that they're warrior kids, because they've heard me play Warrior Kid podcast in my car. They've heard his voice. They know how much being brave and being humble and being kind is important in our family, and they have role models through my husband and I to be able to lead and see that, and it's changed my life. I think I hope I'm much a better person because of all of it.
Jocko, I can't give him enough credit. When you told me about how much you enjoyed that book, I talked with my brother Dan about it, and he got his son Oliver the Way of the Warrior Kid.
Oh, that's good.
Oliver has taken that on. He has a code of conduct now, and he has principles, and he's exercising, and you see how big of an impact that can have.
That's cool.
one of the things that I think is kind of a hard question to ask, but one that I think is important, is most people, when they think about their mortality, it's 30, 40, 50 years away. It's at an indeterminate time that is a long time from now. Mm-hmm. But you had to stare at it and say, I'm going to fight and I don't want to die, mm-hmm. but I may have a limited amount of time, and that becoming real. What did that change about how you were living?
I want to make sure that my boys have the lessons now. Even like, I'm really proud of the fact that a 4-year-old can tell you those things. And even our 2-year-old, he'll tell you, Mommy, I'm brave. I'm a warrior kid. And whether they totally understand what all of that means, but just being able to lay the foundation and have good principles. My mom wrote me books when she passed away. I don't have 35 years ago and 30 years ago, you didn't have video cameras all over the place. I don't remember her voice. I want to leave those lessons and memories because I know how much the lessons that I remember from my mom, I will never waver on. That was something she told me. By God, I'm going to meet her one day and say, I never back down on that. I want to make sure that my husband knows how much I appreciate him. I want to do a good job and have a successful career, and I hope it's a long, successful career. I don't plan to go anywhere anytime soon, but I think you don't waste those little moments. You make sure you're living as healthy and productive of a life as you possibly can and set myself up. We did a few silly kind of crazy things, but it was more crazy things that we said, you know what? Life's too short. I don't want to be 70 and say, I wish I would have. So let's enjoy life now and do it anyway. So we went and bought a car that we always wanted, and it was our fun vehicle. We made chemo treatments, cancer dates. My husband and I would just figure out a way, because we don't have a lot of time when you have 2 little ones to just be on our own. So, hey, we're going to have a chemo treatment. Let's go out to lunch and have a drive on the way to Mayo, and we'll take one of our fun vehicles and we'll just make it into a date day. But you don't wait on life. Life's too short. I'm so thankful that I have my parents and his parents so close to us. We have family close to us that are very important in our lives. And I'm going to fight every day that I'm here to live that life and get better every day.
What do you think would be different if you had not had the cancer diagnosis? Let's say you didn't have the gene and you were going to be Christie on the path that you were on. How would life be different?
That's a really good question. I haven't thought about it.
Maybe that's for the best, right? Maybe it doesn't matter. You know, this is who you are.
Yeah, cancer was close to me. It was very close. I had family members, cousins, aunts and uncles, parents, all diagnosed. And you think you think you understand what that's like until you've walked those shoes and had that phone call. I mean, like I said, I was 3 to 8. At that time, you're little still. You don't get the significance. I knew what was happening to my mom. Losing my mom changed my life. It changed the person that I became in many, many ways. Having that phone call hit my house and seeing how that could impact my kids and my husband if something were to happen to me. I want to do everything that I can to leave a legacy and live as long as I'm able to the best way possible. And I think I took that for granted, even though I had had those things so close to me when I was young, you just kind of move past it. You forget about it. You just focus on your life. And like you said, it's 40 years from now. It's 50 years from now. My grandma lived to 106. I have some longevity genes in there. But you just put a shit out of your mind and you're like, okay, it's another day. We're going to go to daycare. We're going to pick up the kids. I'm going to work. Life's too short. You need to get up every day and fight. And that's completely, my husband knows how obsessed, like, Jocko will be in my head from sun up, because I wake up at 4:30 to work out now. I listened to his podcast for a month and a half, and I was like, you know what? I'm missing out on my kids. I'm working out because that's one of the things that will help me prevent reoccurrence. So I work out every day. But I would work out when I would get home from work, because that's what I always used to do before kids. And I'm like, okay, it's a decompression from work. I was missing time with my boys. I would watch them play while I was working out. Well, that's stupid. If both are important, sacrifice, Christie. Get up and sacrifice. So I get up at 4:30. I work out before my boys wake up. My boys are early risers. Sometimes they wake up and work out with me. Sometimes they are up with me. But then when I get home in the evening is family time. It's family time until the boys go to bed. And then maybe my husband and I have a little bit of time together. But it's dedicating that time. And I don't think I would have seen life that way. I don't think I would have recognized the sacrifices that I needed to make as much as I recognize the sacrifices that I will make the rest of my life to try to be here as long as I can.